Hi everyone, this is Veronica. Today we are going to talk about very important topic, that is Indian Cooling Action Plan. So now we'll discuss why India has made a cooling action plan and why a cooling action plan, that is Indian Cooling Action Plan ICAP, is so important for environment and for India itself. For my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. So this is a channel, StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government exam, a pen drive and tablet courses are also available. For additional information, you can call on these numbers or you can visit our website too. The PDF of this lecture will be available on our website, and this PDF will be available in both the languages, Hindi and English. Now let's see what is the relevance of this topic from exam point of view. If I talk from UPSC perspective and your mains paper 3, it will be covered here, and at objective level you should know what is India Cooling Action Plan and its provisions. At subjective level, you should know what efforts India is putting up to phase out ozone depleting substances from the environment. Right now, let's see why it is in news. Because India is one of the first countries in the world to develop a comprehensive cooling action plan, and it has long-term vision to address the cooling requirement across sectors and lists out actions which can help reduce the cooling demand. Cooling demand is always there. People in every sector, people are using ACs, refrigerators for cooling the things. So this is one thing that is required in all the sectors, and cooling is responsible for some greenhouse gases also. In turn, that is why we want to reduce the cooling also. So cooling action plan is launched by Ozone Cell of Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climatic Change. So a draft policy was ready in 2018, but finally now this is launched. Now just see what is India Cooling Action Plan. So this is the overreaching goal of ICAP, that is to provide sustainable cooling, that we are using the things which cool for us, which are giving us like refrigerators and ACs, but we cannot destroy the environment or harm the environment that our future generations should suffer. So it should be a sustainable cooling, that in future the next generations could take the advantage of cooling technologies, and we want to provide here thermal comfort for all while securing environmental and socio-economic benefits for the society. Now see, it provides an integrated vision towards cooling across sectors. So there could be many sectors encompassing reduction of cooling demand. For example, refrigerant transition, then enhancing energy efficiency, because there are certain things where we need cooling, we cannot ignore it. For example, refrigerators would always be in need, but we can bring in such a technology which will help us to improve the efficiency of refrigerators, right? So we need to enhance energy efficiency and better technology options with a 20-year time horizon. Now see, one of the major demand here is to reduce cooling demand by different sectors. For example, we want to reduce 20 to 25% by 2037 and 38. Okay, we want to reduce cooling demand by 20% to 25% by 2037-38, and then by refrigerant demand, it should be reduced by 25% to 30% by 2037-38. Now we need to discuss why here we are talking or focusing on cooling. This is very important to understand. See, cooling requirement is cross-sectoral. As I told you, all the sectors, whether it is residential areas, whether it is buildings or it's commercial, industries, transport, there is a demand for cooling. Right? So cooling is a cross-sectoral and essential part for economic growth also, and it is required across different sectors. Now also, cooling is linked with human health and productivity. We cannot work in summers, right, without ACs. So productivity also linked with this cooling. At least lot of people who have these facilities, they cannot. And then human health, because cooling, the technology we are using, it is able to reduce very harmful substances in the environment. So ultimately that is responsible for the degradation of human health also. Now, cooling linkages of cooling with sustainable development goals are well acknowledged, and its cross-sectoral nature of cooling and its use in development of economy makes provision for cooling an important developmental necessity. That is why we are focusing here on cooling. Now, what are the benefits of this plan? Now see, thermal comfort for all is required. So this will be a benefit because now government is trying under this project to give thermal comfort to all, especially the this economically weaker sections and low income groups housing. They want to provide thermal comfort. And then at sustainable cooling, we want to pursue sustainable cooling. So if it is achieved, it will help in lower emissions of greenhouse gases which are related to cooling. Then we are trying to double farmers' income because better cold chain infrastructure and better value of produce to farmers and less wastage of produce will be targeted. Then skilled workforce, because it will be there for better livelihoods and environmental protection. Then we'll see a benefit of Make in India under ICAP plan because domestic manufacturing of air conditioning and related cooling equipments will be enhanced. And obviously we need a robust research and development on alternative cooling technologies to provide push to innovation in cooling sector, because they are thinking to make such buildings for people where a lot of ventilation is there. We can use alternative to cooling, we can use fans, we can use coolers, so that heat is not trapped in the building and there would not be any use for AC. So we want to reduce the demand of cooling over the period of time. So just see here what could be the probable suggestions to achieve these. See, the ministry, for instance, just consider passively cooled building design that deploys natural and mechanical ventilation. That is one point. Then we can promote the use of energy efficient refrigerant. Then adoption of adaptive thermal comfort, what we are already talked about. Then development of energy efficient technology, renewable energy based cold chains for perishable foods. And even by 2038, a significant percentage of households will not be able to afford refrigerant based cooling equipment also. Therefore, wider proliferation of thermally efficient residential built spaces is totally required in today's time, and they should have reduced heat load and enhanced ventilation. So this should be coupled with efficient non-refrigerant based cooling equipment such as I told you, fans and coolers. So this is the suggestion I am telling you. You can give me more in the comment box. So even India, why we are focusing too much, we have global commitments also. For example, a large part of cooling demand is met through refrigerant based cooling, and these refrigerants are regulated under Montreal Protocol. And Montreal Protocol, it regulates on substances that depletes ozone layer, and India is signatory to it. And in 2016 there was Kigali amendment to the protocol was also made, where India and few other countries, developing countries, they agreed to phase down HFCs. What are HFCs? These are hydrofluorocarbons. So India has committed that it will reduce it by 85% of their 2024-26 levels by 2047. So hydrofluorocarbons are commonly used in air conditioners and refrigerators. So India has, why ICAP is there, we have global commitments also. We are looking for the people's health, we are looking for environment, we are looking for our economy. Therefore it is important. So this is all about today's lecture. If you have any query, you can contact me. Thank you.